5 candidates will contest the Athletics South Africa presidency on the 31st of May in what is shaping up to be the most competitive ASA election to date. Athletics South Africa President James Moloi will be facing strong opposition from his deputy Shireen Noble, along with Aleck Skhosana and Harold Adams. Aleck Skhosana, who served 2 previous terms as head of Athletics South Africa from 2014 to 2021 when he was ousted by the incumbent James Moloi, says he will not stand by as the federation falters. He joins us now to talk to us about his plans. Aleck, a very good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening to you and your listeners, and thank you very much for having me. And before I say much, congratulations to Walaza for breaking the South African record. We are about athletics. Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's get straight into it, Aleck. You have been there before. You served 2 terms. Why are you seeking a return as the president of Athletics South Africa?
You will recall, my brother, in 2014, the World Athletics came to sort the problems of administration, leadership, and all that. And I happened to be the privileged one to be elected to sort the mess that was created. And I was there for 2 years, from 2014 to 2016. Thereafter, I served a full 4-year term, 2016 to 2020. We should have had elections during COVID, but we postponed it to 2021 May. So in actual fact, I've had 1 term and 2 years. Hence, I'm available myself. And secondly, the Constitution does allow us to be able to come to athletics. Our Constitution is very clear. It says you cannot be able to serve 2 terms in a consecutive, way.
I want us, in the interest of time, Aleck, as we don't have much time, but what are some of the issues that you feel need to be resolved, that you feel if you are elected president, you will deal with, considering some of the issues that Athletics South Africa is facing at the moment?
Well, the number one is to restore image and integrity of Athletics South Africa. You saw on the 1st of April in Parliament where the Portfolio Committee on Sports, Arts and Culture declared ASA as an embarrassment, a disgrace and a mess. And we cannot be able to sit back and watch whilst we can be able to add value. We once participated and we want to resolve these problems in the past. So what I want to do when I come in there with the support of the provinces is to make South African athletics greater, make it bigger, better, and a major force in the world of athletics, and make sure that we restore the corporate governance and we do the reforms, constitutional reforms and administrative reforms. For an example, we don't have the CEO, we don't have the marketing officer, we don't have the national development manager, and the national development plan needs to be reviewed to be fit for purpose. This is what I will be able to do. And also want to do one thing which is close to my heart, having been an athlete, having been an administrator, is to support athletes and coaches in preparation for the major world events, including the Olympics, because it has been proven over and over again. It does not matter where you come from. If you are given the opportunity and the chance, and with the best coach and federation alongside you as a youngster like Walaza, you can be able to make it and surprise the Americans and Jamaicans and be anything and everything as we have seen.
Aleck, elections like this come down to support. Do you feel that you've got the support, looking at the nominations and those that have been nominated? Yeah?
I do believe I have the support. I've been talking to people with my teams, and I certainly believe that I'll be able to make a mark. And that's why I have to stand up and say I am available.
One of the key issues, and I mean, you touched on those positions of those that have been acting in those positions, but one of the key issues that always comes out is the issues of broadcasting, where in the past we used to have some of the athletics events from comrades to even, the local events being broadcast. How do you plan to deal with that to make sure that people have access to athletics at any given time when our, when our athletes are competing?
As part of my manifesto, I've articulated this in some other interviews, but I'm prepared to share it with you again. That the importance of the public broadcaster, SABC television, and the 18 radio stations. cannot be looked down upon. For 4 years, people in all the corners of this country have not enjoyed athletics. Children, 2.7 million school-going children, have not seen athletics on television unless otherwise their parents have got money to pay for the pay channel, which is about a lot of money compared to a free-to-air broadcasting. And two, is also to continue where I've ended in 2020, where the World Athletics had given us the opportunity to take SABC as a free-to-air broadcaster wherever we go and put our cameras at the finish line so that we can be able to inspire children from all walks of life in this country. So I've said if I get elected on Saturday, on Tuesday I will be at SABC to talk to the general manager, Mrs. Skeleso, and the CEO and even the minister to strike a deal to make sure that SABC radio stations and televisions broadcast athletics as soon as possible.
Just finally, very briefly, Aleck, what gives you confidence that you will be able to succeed in getting another term as president of Athletics South Africa? Looking at the competition in Shireen, who has been there, you've got James Moloi, who has been there, who I understand has received more nominations.
Well, what gives me confidence is that my colleagues that I will be contesting the position with, I once shared the board and they know my capabilities. They remember very well when we got in there in 2016, in 2014, things were upside down. So I've got experience, and you can't buy experience anywhere. I've taken South African athletics from number 33 in the senior category to number 3 during the times of caster and weight, and for the youth from nowhere to number 1 in the world in 2017, and the juniors to number 6 out of 215 member countries. So I do have experience. I do have the understanding of how to run athletics. And second and lastly, consequence management. They know that I cannot be able to take issues that will compromise the image of athletics.
Aleck, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for coming through to speak to us. That is Aleck Skhosana, who is one of the 5 candidates who are vying for the presidency of Athletics South Africa. And those elections will be happening on the 31st of May in Johannesburg. We pack it here for now as far as sport is concerned. We do, though, have another update coming your way in the next hour. Headlines and more just after this.